along with Hatfield Auto Mall, including Hatfield Isuzu, Jeep Eagle West, Hatfield Subaru, Toyota West, Hatfield Hyundai, and Trader Bud's West Side Dodge. The Hatfield chain of dealerships over on the on the pole in car number 33 from St. Paris, Ohio, your fourth fast qualifier. The driver is Carl Stapleton. Starting second in number 98, a guy who did double duty last year, this year concentrating solely on the limited sportsman division. From Powell, Ohio, it's Mike Rush. Michael Rush in car 98. Starting third, your second fast qualifier. They had trouble last week, but look, they practiced this week. Seemed to have the car together in good working order. Car number 26, this is Gary Carter. Gary Carter in 26. And finally, in car number 17, out of New Carlisle, Ohio, your fast qualifier, it's Sam Heckman in 17. Stapleton is your leader in car 33. Gary Carter tried that third groove up there in turns 3 and 4, but he couldn't make it stick on Mike Rush. Stapleton pulls out to about an 8-car length advantage down the backstretch. The halfway signal from the starter, Jim Paul, this time by. Still Carter plies his trade on the outside of the Powell, Ohio driver, Mike Rush. Carter alongside to challenge for second. Stapleton still holds the lead. White flag. And Gary Carter with a relatively easy pass of Mike Rush. He won't have enough time to track down Stapleton. Your winner from St. Paris, Ohio, Carl Stapleton. So he came in tonight tied in the point standings with Ken Sward. With a better qualifying time, he took over the points lead. He started out racing here at the Speedway last year and ran a couple races. This car is sponsored by Sparks Racing Supplies. Tonight's racing card, or the second event rather, on tonight's racing card. Mitch Mann, please report to the Speedway office at make that Pataskala, Ohio. Ron Holbein Jr. Behind him in car number 80, it'll be Limited Sportsman rookie driver Tim Rowenbeck. Rowenbeck ran the street stock division a year ago. This year he steps up to the Limited Sportsman division. Next up in car number 53, out of Beaver Creek, Ohio, Russ Bobb. And he's followed by number 18, Tim Dagan, D-A-G-O-N, Dagan in 18. Following Dagan in car 65 out of Lancaster, Ohio, it's Scott Murray. And behind Murray in 76, the driver is Buddy Townsend. And starting on the tail end number 66, it's Paul Baker Jr. A white flag displayed this time around, and we'll get a start the next time. Holbein in car number 3 leads them around again. We're starting single file tonight in the to see what happens, so we can try to save some equipment. Green flag. Holbein in 3. Now Rowenbeck slips coming off turn 2. Russ Bobb will try the bottom lane through turns 3 and 4. Now Tim Dagan moves underneath Rowenbeck for second spot. Ron Holbein still holds on to that lead. They'll tiptoe through turns 3 and 4. Holbein slips high. Dagan sideways. He stays under control. Rowenbeck back in control in second spot. Your leader is Holbein Jr., Ron Holbein Jr. in car number 3. Again, Dagan goes to the inside. He'll try to go underneath Holbein down the backstretch. See if they make it through this 3 and 4. Dagan very easily off the 4th turn. It's Ron Holbein Jr. 4 laps are complete. Tim Dagan second. Now Dagan will try the outside, most certainly down in 3 and 4. Still Ron Holbein holds on to the lead. Tell you, the guy really moving up is Paul Baker Jr. He's trying that outside groove. Baker up to 4th spot. Russ Bobb is 3rd. There goes Baker into his patented 3rd groove. Dagan again to the inside of Ron Holbein. White flag this time. Now Baker challenges Holbein for second. Tim Dagan, your leader, down the backstretch. Baker to the outside of Dagan, but he can't make it stick. Your winner will be Tim Dagan. Paul Baker Jr. finishes second. 3rd is Ron Holbein Jr. 4th, Russ Bobb. And 5th, Tim Rowenbeck. Tim Dagan, the winner, his first heat race win of 1990. car 29, Bob Justice, the feature winner a week ago. And the guy that came into tonight tied for the point lead, car 74, Ken Swore, the new track record holder as of last week. Next, Jim Kidd in car 25. Car number 9 is Jim Cruz. And in the red, number 20, Mike Brown. 8 laps for these gentlemen in the second limited sportsman heat race. Immediately, Bob Justice tries to go to the outside of Randy Sword, but now Ken Sword sneaks underneath him. They'll try to tiptoe through turns 3 and 4. Your leader is Zero Hill. Tell you what, Bob Justice looks like he's a man on a mission in 1993 here at the Speedway in limited sportsman competition. Car 29 moving up to second spot. Two circuits completed. The leader is Zero Hill. Second now, Bob Justice. Third is Kenny Sword. Justice and Sword set their sights on Zero Hill, the leader. Sword now closing up. He's only 2 car lengths now behind Zero Hill. Halfway this time. Now Sword and Justice challenge your leader, Zero Hill, down the backstretch. Ken Sword to the inside of Bob Justice. Turned in a 4th place finish last week in the feature. Looking for the heat win tonight. White flag for Zero Hill. But now here comes Ken Sword up to second spot and putting the pressure on the black number 0 down the backstretch. The winner of the second heat race, Zero Hill. Kenny Sword is his second. Third goes to Bob Justice. Finishing 4th, Randy Sword. And rounding out the top 5, Jim Cruz in car number 9. Columbus, Ohio's Donnie Zero Hill is your with the late model trophy dash. Starting on the pole, the 1992 late model track champion, Columbus Motor Speedway, and the winner of the Bob Evans Rookie of the Year, overall Rookie of the Year, out of Columbus. The qualifying time for this guy, 14.6654. Donnie Renner in 92. Renner in 92. Starting second in car number 21. Hailing from Miamisburg, Ohio. The third fast qualifier, a yellow number 21, 14.618 his time, is John Vallow. Next in car number 11 of New Carlisle, Ohio. We understand John Vallow has requested a tail. Starting second in car number 11. First time out for this driver, his qualifying time 14.527. Dick Dunleavy Jr. and on a tail out of Pickerington, Ohio. Qualified, I think, 11th last week. This week he's fast time. Car number 83, Lonnie Rush with a 14.483. 4 laps. Vallow to the outside of Rush. He disposes of him. Now he'll go to work on Dick Dunleavy. Way out front is Donnie Renner. Renner, your leader in 92. He'll get the halfway signal this time. It's Donnie Renner, John Vallow, Lonnie Rush. And a spin as Dick Dunleavy Jr. in turn number 1 ends up down in turn 2. Dunleavy in car number 11, finishers in the track championship chase last year. 2 laps to go. Vallow right on Renner's deck lid, down the backstretch. The white flag out this time. Vallow goes to the inside. Can't make it stick. White flag. John Vallow and team had this car out testing this week, trying to get it faster. Again, he pulls up on the deck lid of Donnie Renner, but he won't do it. Your winner is Donnie Renner. A close second is John Vallow. Third, Lonnie Rush. And rounding out the field, car number 11, Dick Dunleavy Jr. Starting first out of Piketon, Ohio, the 1991 and 92 late model track champion at KC Raceway. Moving to pavement this week. He had a tough opening last week, collecting the wall, no fault of his own. An accident happened in front of him. This is Craig Least. Least in 52. Next in car 59 from Columbus, it's Burgess White. Then comes number 86, Skip Thornton. 39 is Randy Maynard Jr. and 47, Larry Harris. And on the tail, car number 94, Robbie Dean. By the way, they tell me that Robbie Dean has decided he will accept the Clark Oil Challenge and start last in tonight's feature and go for that $200 bonus in the feature. 10 laps to go. Craig Least holds the lead. Burgess White is second. Least trying to get comfortable on the pavement. He's a veteran of the dirt track wars, but the blacktop's a little bit different. Least driving a brand new Larry Phillips Auto Sports car. He's your leader. Burgess White is second. They'll complete lap number 3 this time by the start-finish line. Now Robbie Dean can't get through there. Larry Harris shuts the door as they come off the second turn for that 4th spot. Still Craig Least out front. Now Dean takes over 4th and sets his sights on Randy Maynard. Dean takes Maynard to task down the backstretch. Robbie Dean is 3rd. And Larry Harris with a spin in turn number 4 brings out the caution flag. And the nickname he goes by or went by down at KC Raceway was Fudge. So he will lead the heat race on the restart. Burgess White second, Randy Maynard, Robbie Dean. Burgess White underneath Leist on the restart, and so goes Robbie Dean. It's Burgess White, Robbie Dean now. And here comes the Big Bird. He's on a mission in 1993. Halfway. The leader from Darbydale, your 5-time track champion, one of them, Robbie Dean. In the record books this time, past the start-finish line. Randy Maynard putting pressure on Burgess White for second. Leist runs fourth in car 52. Dean way out front, and he'll accept the white flag this time. Winner of the heat race, Robbie Dean. Burgess White finishes second. Third is Randy Maynard Jr. Fourth, Fudge Leist, and fifth, Larry Harris. In back of him, Mike Carroll in 15. What would be the second row in third place, Terry Humphrey, and in car number 5 behind Humphrey, Bussy Blackford. Then comes 61, that's Mike Ward, and 7 is Bobby Edwards, and finally car number 19, Carlton Smith. 10 laps. The parade down the backstretch, followed by Mike Carroll, Terry Humphrey, Bussy Blackford. Cantley starts to pull away. A big-time lead. Mike Ward trying to squeeze up beside Terry Humphrey, but can't quite do it yet. Mike Ward is second. Humphrey slips in turn 2. Mike Ward, make that Mike Carroll second. Bill Cantley way out front. Mike Carroll in second. Terry Humphrey will try to go to the inside. Halfway this time for Bill Cantley. Again, Humphrey this time to the inside of Mike Carroll down the backstretch. He'll take over second. Terry Humphrey in the runner-up spot now. Mike Ward now third. Bussy Blackford up to fourth. Now Humphrey put some distance between him and Mike Ward. Blackford is fourth. Your leader gets the white flag. Bill Cantley. And the winner, Bill Cantley. We'll watch for that race for second. It'll be a good one. Terry Humphrey is second. Finishing third is Mike Ward, fourth, Bussy Blackford, and fifth, Mike Carroll. Well, here we go. I'm sorry. I need to look at my lineup. If all else fails, read directions. My 6-year-old once told me. Starting on the pole in car number 70, it's Heavy Hill. Behind him in 13, Dale Brown. Then comes number 22. The driver is Bubba Parsons. And number 00, Ron Mangus. Make that Donald Parsons in 22. Donald Parsons the third. Your fastest 4 street stock qualifiers. Heavy Hill out front. Dale Brown is second. Third, fourth, a good tussle between Donald Parsons and Ron Mangus. Mangus disposes of Parsons, who tries to go through the debris down in turn 4 and moves up to third. Mangus is third. White flag this time for Heavy Hill. Parsons again squirrely. This time I'm up the second turn. Maybe it's more than just the water down in 4. Your winner, Heavy Hill. Finishing second, Dale Brown. Third, Ron Mangus. And rounding out the field, Donald Parsons the third. Car number 73 is Brian McDowell. Then comes 20, Denver Wise. Wait a minute, here we go. Now I'm back in the action. We're 73's on back here. Bob Miller is in 0. He'll start second. Denver Wise is next. Then comes Brian New, Steve Tuttle, and Brian McDowell. Herb Pennington. Then comes Tom Bond in 52. And number 15 is Ron Ackerman. Make that Norman Ackerman, I believe, in 15. Gary Lamer, the leader, in 34. Bob Miller in 0, runs second. But now Brian New will challenge him. They'll work through turns 3 and 4. Brian New now moves underneath Lamer for the lead. Herb Pennington is up to second spot. Pennington tries that low groove. Can't do it. Brian Newell hangs on in the front. Gary Lamer third, but Bob Miller challenging him for that spot. 2 of this 8-lap race are complete. 2 laps. They'll complete lap number 3 this time. Now Denver Wise moves past Miller for third spot. He'll be followed around Miller by Steve Tuttle. Back in the front, it's still Brian New in 41. Herb Pennington. Now Tuttle to the inside of Denver Wise. They'll race through 3 and 4. Pennington right on Brian New's back bumper. And Pennington, Herb Pennington to the outside of Brian New through 1 and 2. Steve Tuttle is third in car number 17. Denver Wise fourth. Bob Miller fifth. White flag for Brian New. Still Pennington putting the pressure on. Steve Tuttle coming, but he's not going to have enough time. A good race for the lead as Pennington on the outside of Brian New. They'll race to the checkered flag. It'll be close. Herb Pennington, the winner in car 89. Brian New, second by inches. Third, I believe, was Steve Tuttle. Fourth, Denver Wise, and I think fifth, car 0, Bob Miller. Fred Hartzell and Bruce Holmes, the first 2 cars. Then comes Bill Hundley and Mike Hamilton. Herm Hundley in 7, Clyde Trowbridge in 69, Dave Dysinger in 27. Then comes what I think is 62, either 02 or 62. Tentatively, we're going to say that's Don King until we hear otherwise. And then on the tail in car number 5, Darrell Dexter. 8 racing laps. So the leader, he's followed by Bruce Holmes, Bill Hundley, and Mike Hamilton. It's still Hartzell and Holmes, the front 2. 2 laps in the record books. Now Bruce Holmes in the third groove challenges for the lead. And he does it. Bruce Holmes the leader in 88. Hartzell relegated to second. Hundley and Hamilton slug it out for third. Here comes Dave Dysinger and Clyde Trowbridge to join the fray for that second spot. It's still Bruce Holmes out front. Now Hunley moves to second, followed by Mike Hamilton. White flag this time for Bruce Holmes. Bill Hunley trying to reel Holmes in, but I don't think he's going to have enough time. Your winner, Bruce Holmes. Bill Hunley is second. Be close for third. Mike Hamilton comes home third. Dave Dysinger fourth. Those street stockers. Let's see, car number 12 is Bubba Parsons. Car 18, Bo Davis. Number 9 is Kenny Thomas. Wait a minute, here we go. Again, all we need to do is get the announcer to read the lineup off the sheet, and we'll be in business. Starting over, Bubba Parsons will start first. Then comes Randall Borman in second. Bo Davis third in 18. Fourth is Kenny Thomas. Next, Rick Honecker in 72. 33, Jim McCauley. Joe Pittenger follows him in 37. Then in 35, it's Tom Idle. And finally, Don Townsend Jr. Your leader is Bubba. Second is Randall. Third is Bo. But I think that's going to change here in just a minute. With one lap complete, the race for the lead is a heated one. Bubba had one feature win in 1992 here at the Speedway. Borman never graced victory lane, but in the feature racing action, they run door to door for the third lap in a row. Now Bubba back in front. Bo Davis continues to run third. Kenny Thomas fourth. Looks like he's going to make the pass stick halfway. This is time. Bubba Parsons down into the infield. Randall Borman, your leader. Bo Davis second. Kenny Thomas third. Thomas now sideways in turn 4, collects it. Excellent job of driving in that silver number 9. White flag this time for Randall Borman. This gentleman had one heat race victory in 1992. Looks like he's looking for his second career heat race win. Car 87, Randall Borman. Bo Davis finishes second. Third goes to Kenny Thomas. Fourth, Rick Honecker. And fifth, Don Townsend Jr. Your third and final street stock heat race. So again, we're going to run a very brief intermission. We need to give our track workers and employees just a little bit of a break to get a cup of coffee and visit the little girl's room. We'll be back here very shortly, probably in about 5 or 10 minutes. So a very brief intermission. .30-lap limited sportsman feature. Again, because of the condition of the racetrack, we will start single file. We apologize for that. Tonight's racing action, of course, Hatfield Auto Mall and Century Video, the sponsors. The lineup goes a little bit like this. First is Tim Rowenbeck. Second, Russ Bob. Then comes 76, Buddy Townsend. 18 is Tim Dagan. Then comes Zero Hill, Randy Sward, Bob Justice, Kenny Sward, Jim Kidd in 25. That's Jim Cruz in 9. Then comes Mike Brown, Carl Stapleton, Mike Rush, Gary Carter, Sam Heckman, Ron Holbein Jr., and Scott Murray. 30 laps, the limited sportsman feature event. And a yellow flag as Scott Murray loops it in turn number 3. Crane, please. Something part up on the screwdriver on the racetrack, so we'll get that off the track. There we go. Special thanks to all the paramedics and track crew that work out here tirelessly every week. Of course, all the wreckers who help us out here each and every week as well. Leads Buddy Townsend, Tim Dagan, and Zero Hill. They all tiptoe through turns 3 and 4. to the outside of Russ Bob for the lead. And Buddy Townsend is out front in car 76. Russ Bob second. Now Scott Murray off the track on the backstretch. Six laps in the record books. Buddy Townsend, your leader. Now Tim Dagan will try the low groove. Russ Bob still second. They work around Tim Rowenbeck and turns 1 and 2, and now Zero Hill into the backstretch wall. So Buddy Townsend out front. Car number 80 of Tim Rowenbeck is a lap car. Second in the series order is Russ Bob. Then comes Randy Sword, Ken Sword, Bob Justice, Jim Kidd, Mike Brown, Jim Cruz, Carl Stapleton, Gary Carter, Mike Rush, Sam Heckman, Ron Holbein Jr., and Tim Dagan. Marcia Curtis to the General Mission Gate, Gate B, please. Marcia Curtis to the General Mission Gate, please. Eight down, 22 remain. Buddy Townsend. Second is Russ Bob. Third is Randy Sword. Ten laps complete. 10 down. Up alongside Randy for the second, make that third spot. Sword takes over that second spot. Sword is second. Buddy Townsend with some incredible lap times. I can't believe they made it through that. They haven't yet, I guess. Randy Sword second. Buddy Townsend really going fast in that car 76 base compared with... Randy Sword second, Bob Justice third, and just too much, over a second faster than his qualification run. Buddy Townsend goes to the tail. We have a breakout rule here of, I believe, a quarter of... White flag, 1 lap will be underway. Randy Sword, the leader. Bob Justice second. Jim Kidd third. Fourth is Ken Sword, and fifth, Gary Carter. Carter started clear back in 15th spot, and he's up to 5th currently. Carter continues to move on the outside, all the way from 15th spot. He's challenging Jim Kidd for third. Randy Sword, the leader. Now Carter goes to work on Bob Justice. 10 laps to go. 9 laps to go this time by. There he goes, Carter on the outside of Randy Sword for the lead. Well, Randy's really racing Gary for that lead. Sword and Carter still slugging out. Now Carter clears Randy Sword, the new leader, 5 laps to go. But Carter is sideways in 4. Gary Carter now your leader, Randy Sword second, Bob Justice third. Flag as Ron Holbein Jr. goes up in smoke on the front stretch. We're not sure if there's... We'll get the track crew out there and check for fluid. Left. Carter begins to stretch it out over Randy Sword. Now there's a gaggle of cars looking to get around Randy. Justice runs third. Ken Sword fourth. Again, Sword to the outside of Bob Justice in turns 3 and 4. A white flag for a streaking Gary Carter. Ken Sword now door to door with Bob Justice for that third spot. Carter looks a sure winner, and he'll do it. Your winner, Gary Carter. Second goes to Randy Sword. Third, Ken Sword. Fourth is Bob Justice. I'll get you a top 10 finish as soon as I have one available. So Gary Carter from Lockbourne, Ohio, the feature winner tonight, all the way from 15th starting position. He's the owner of this car. It's sponsored by Cantley's Racing Parts, Private Dancer, Hugger Chassis, Bob's Tires, ENC Race Parts, Need More Tires, G&D Painting, Angelina Villas Pizza, and Moments Notice Band. Starting first in car number 47, it's Larry Harris. Second in 26 will be Bill Cantley. In third, in car number 15, the driver is Mike Carroll, and behind him, number 1, Terry Humphrey. Fifth place starter in car number 19, that's Carlton Smith. And then comes car number 5, Bussy Blackford. 61 is next, that's Mike Ward, and car number 7 is Bobby Edwards. The next car in line, 92, Donnie Renner, and 21, John Vallow. Then we have car number 11, that's Dick Dunleavy Jr., and your fast qualifier follows him, car 83, Lonnie Rush Sr. Randy Maynard Jr. is next, followed by Skip Thornton, Burgess White, Craig Leist, and on the tail, accepting the Clark Oil Challenge this evening for a $200 bonus should he win tonight, Robbie Dean. $100 bonus. Larry Harris leads him around 35 racing laps, for the NASCAR Winston Racing Series late models. Two laps complete. Larry Harris the leader. Here comes Bussy Blackford in car number 5 on the outside. Continues to move up in that Paul Storr left-hander Bickle chassis. Larry Harris, Bill Cantley, Bussy Blackford. Beside Bill Cantley for second. And Carlton Smith with contact on the backstretch wall. So in addition to that Carlton Smith incident, Lonnie Rush had spun over in turn 2. So he goes to the tail. Cantley wastes little time moving alongside of Larry Harris for the lead. Bill Cantley, the new leader. Here comes Bussy Blackford. Complete, 12 down, Bill Cantley. Now Bussy Blackford second. Bill Cantley showing the way, Bussy Blackford. Terry Humphrey is third, Mike Ward fourth, Donnie Renner fifth. pass off turn 2. Renner gets the advantage. And a yellow, looks like, is that Bobby Edwards, I believe. Bobby Edwards in car number 7 with a spin in turn number 2. Let's see, Bussy Blackford. 3rd, Terry Humphrey. 4th is Donnie Renner. 5th, Mike Ward. Mike Ward and John Vallow tucked right inside. They raced side by side for about 3 or 4. Down. John Vallow to the outside of Mike Ward. Now he'll try Donnie Renner. Stretches it out. Humphrey all over the back of Bussy Blackford. To go, 10 laps. Now Renner slips back a spot. Mike Ward now up to 4th. John Vallow now, 5th spot in, trying to move on Mike Ward. To go, 5 laps. completed one. Blackford still second, your leader. White flag for Bill Cantley. Still a good race for second. Your winner, the second, number 26 to win tonight, Bill Cantley. Second, Bussy Blackford. So let's hear it for all these guys. A great race. So again, the winner, Bill Cantley. Car sponsored by Cantley's Racing Parts, Kent, with the ARCA Hooters Cup, Granger Select 150, Saturday and Sunday, May 15 and 16. There, everybody gets to check out that driver's uniform. Is that hot or what? Your winner, Bill Cantley. Once again, on the pole in car number 17, that's Steve Tuttle. Behind him in 89 is Herb Pennington. Bruce Holmes comes next in 88, and then Bill Hundley in 30. Car 24, Mike Hamilton, and number 7, Herm Hundley. Well, next we've got Clyde Trowbridge in 69, and Dave Dysinger in 27. I'm going to get these Parsons straight sooner or later. They switched numbers on me in car number 12. I think that's Bubba Parsons in 12. And Randall Borman in 87. Bo Davis in 18. Kenny Thomas in car number 9. Rick Honecker is next in 72. Then comes 33, Jim McCauley. 37, Joe Pittenger. Next, we've got Don Townsend Jr., Heavy Hill in 70, Dale Brown in 13, 22 is Donald Parsons III, Ron Mangus in 00, your fastest qualifier tonight. Then comes a correction on a driver for car 02, is that number, that's make that Victor Matheson in 02. Then we've got car number 5, Daryl Dexter, 28 Fred Hartzell, and 35 Tom Idle. So that's your starting order for the 25-lap NASCAR Winston Racing Series Street Stock Finale. Steve Tuttle and Herb Pennington. Your first two cars, they'll be going for 25 grueling circuits around the 3rd mile paved oval. Tuttle out front in 17. Herb Pennington hangs on in 89 to that second spot. 2 laps down this time around. Steve Tuttle way out front. Herb Pennington second. He's followed on the outside, trying to make the passes. Bruce Holmes. And some contact over on the backstretch. Clyde Trowbridge and Rick Honecker together. Jr. disqualified for smoking. Townsend black flag. That car smoking heavily. Flag. Pennington, those two cars started first and second in this event, the slowest qualifiers in this event. And they are well over a second faster than their qualifying times. Well, you normally allow, I think, a half a second. We realize they only got one qualifying run tonight, so we're giving them a little more leeway, but not that much. Not over a second qualifying variance. So those two first place cars are disqualified. Actually, not first two cars. Actually, the 88 car would be starting. Second, had we not had this breakout situation. He was a faster qualifier than both. The 88 car was faster in qualification than the 17 and the 89. So again, well over a second faster than their qualifying times. And what that means, folks, is if these guys go out and qualify at a certain speed, start out on the front of the race because they are a slower qualifying car, and they take off and win easily, if we allow that to go on consistently, obviously we're not trying to read intent into what they did, because certainly we can't tell whether they did it on purpose, but we do need to control to try to keep everybody honest in qualifications. If they had a problem, they could have, as is the case with all cars, if they feel like they have a qualifying or a problem with their qualifying time, they can request the tail. They can request the tail and be assigned a new qualifying time during an event, during a race. So we'll get a green flag the next time by the start-finish line. up to 5th spot. Heavy Hill started 19th. He's up to 5th position now. Bruce Holmes still the leader. Bill Hundley is his second. Now Bill Hundley tries the inside groove underneath Bruce Holmes. Clyde Trowbridge calls it a night on the backstretch. And we got a part on the racetrack. Got to have a part on the racetrack. So we have a race stoppage. I'll get all these cars single filed out. That's Heavy Hill, 6th, Randall Borman, 7th, Donald Parsons. 8th is Dave Dysinger, 9th, Rick Honecker, and 10th, Ron Mangus. 14 laps down, 11 remain. Still, Bruce Holmes out front. Pressuring Holmes, this time on the outside, with Bubba Parsons in second. Actually, second, third, a very close battle between Hundley and Bubba. Now Hundley begins to backpedal on the outside. It's Bruce Holmes, Bubba Parsons, Heavy Hill now up to third. Laps to go. Now Donald Parsons the third, working the outside of Randall Borman for that 4th position. Donald Parsons in 22 continues to move on the outside. Bruce Holmes slips high off the 4th turn. And Bubba Parsons is your new leader. Heavy Hill is second. Moving up to third will be Randall Borman. 3 abreast in turns 3 and 4. Hundley spins, as do Mangus and Hamilton. Now Mangus moving in 00. Your leader is Bubba Parsons. Bubba Parsons the leader. White flag this time. White flag. Bubba spins. Heavy Hill, the new leader in car number 70. Randall Borman will finish second. Your winner on Hatfield Auto Mall Century Video Night, Heavy Hill. Race. Your winner, Heavy Hill. I'll get you a top 10 finish next week. When we get that finish sorted out, it should take a while. The winner, Heavy Hill, car number 70. So again, tomorrow's racing program, the American Speed Association AC Delco Challenge Series here at the Speedway.